Okay, big news in Brisbane this afternoon. Well, actually, it was this morning, Ollie, announced by the Premier, 3-day lockdown from 5 o'clock. We're going to go to the front of the Courier-Mail. But, Ollie, let me tell you this. Driving into the studio tonight, places like a ghost town. But I actually came back from the Gold Coast earlier today around 3 o'clock. And there was, according to the 6 o'clock news, a 76-kilometre traffic jam from Brisbaneites heading to the Gold Coast to escape the 3-day lockdown. And, of course, it goes right up until 5 o'clock Thursday, which is on the eve of Good Friday. So, effectively, a lot of Brisbaneites hoping to turn this into a 7 or 8-day long weekend. And, of course, similarly, we had major traffic snarls between Brisbane and the Sunshine Coast. But here's the story on the front page of tomorrow's Courier-Mail. Frontline vaccine fail. Almost half of public hospital doctors say they haven't had jab as medics sound alarm. Queensland Doctors Association is calling on the state government to urgently prioritise the vaccination of health workers treating COVID-19 patients after finding almost half of public hospital doctors hadn't had their first jab. Almost half of public hospital doctors haven't had their first jab. Now, they did a survey, the AMA in Queensland, and they found that of the 340-odd frontline doctors, that 43% were yet to receive a dose of vaccine. And these particular doctors, Ollie, also told the AMA in that particular survey that they were invariably treating people who they suspected had COVID. Extraordinary scenes here today in Brisbane.
It is not surprising with those stats, though, you reveal out of the front page of the Courier-Mail tomorrow, Gleeson, because we've just had over 500,000 Australians administered the vaccination, and we were meant to be at a point in just a couple of days' time where 4 million Australians had received the vaccination. So clearly it's going at tortoise-like speed at the moment, the rollout, and there's a whole heap of factors as to why that's the case. Obviously, some of the supply blocked from Europe, but it needs to be urgently turbocharged. And all the naysayers who believe I'm not going to get the vaccination, why do I need it, or I shouldn't go and get it? Well, this is why you got to do it. This is why you got to go and get the vaccination, and this is why we need to speed up the process, because right now we have the great friends, and where you are, Gleeson, in Brisbane, in lockdown for at least the next 3 days. The signs obviously looking a little ominous that we'll have more cases probably detected in the coming days. Has it crept across the border to New South Wales? And, you know, the most sensible Premier throughout this whole process, Gladys Berejiklian, even warning her own citizens today to avoid Greater Brisbane. And, in fact, she said avoid going to Queensland at all. So you think about that, Gleeson. All of a sudden, all those brilliant tourism businesses right up and down the eastern seaboard in your fabulous state will have next to no customers for Easter. You know, I was planning to go to Port Douglas later this week up in Cairns and was so excited. We're obviously not going anymore because in Western Australia, we're shut to Queensland. You're a medium risk state and you can't even get into WA if you come in from Queensland. So it's done. It's up in flames.